Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Sydney Pistolwhip Experience. We've been asked to put on well, we got a text from Mr. Spielberg, Steven Spielberg. We talked to him recently. He said, you might need a bit more lighting in the do you know, when you're doing the stand-up improv stuff. So I said, fair enough. We've got another candle there, and I'm not even too sure. Is this are we on? Is the picture good? That seems to be okay, yeah. And we were asked by someone else to keep the music down because that interferes with the ambiotic mood that we're trying to create. Trying to create for the actual show. We got a text here from a gentleman in Timbuktu. His name is Al Sahad Fahid Yahid Haim. He said that he discovered on the Google the other day that there is more people on the planet Earth that don't know their arse from their elbow than there ever was in the history of mankind. And it's quite frightening, really. I googled it myself. People who don't know their arse from their elbow, and it came up that approximately 40% of the worldwide population don't know their arse from their elbow. And what was even more frightening, there was statistics underneath it. I nearly said statistics, you know, I get confused. Some words confuse me, like perpendicular. I don't know whether that's actually, it's up or down and this way or that way, and it's the kind of thing that on certain occasions I've spent hours thinking about. But statistics have said, yeah, that there's up to 40% of the population don't know their arse from their elbow. And of that 40%, 50% of them, which is half, the scientists believe that a lot of it is to do with the internet age, that the internet age is taken away mankind's ability to learn stuff. I mean, my friend Larry, he says he blames it on the I fear to say this, I fear to say it. Larry blames it on the global warming, but he blames everything on the global warming. He says, I said to Larry the other evening, I said, did you see that on the Google about the 40% of the world's population don't know their arse from their elbow? And he said he can well believe it. And I said the scientists think it's a lot to do with the internet and all that bullshit or whatever. He says, there's probably the global warming as well, you see, because I'm not going to go into Larry's voice because I'm too tired. I'm just back from the gym. Larry said what's happening is the people, the global warming, the temperatures increase. Just say Ireland, for instance, it might be 25 degrees on a hot day in the summer. Well, up in the last few years, it can be up at 28, 29. And he says, the Irish people are going out acting the same way as if it was 25 degrees. And a lot of the ones that are not too bright to start off with, they're going out without the proper sunblocks and caps and stuff, and then the brains are getting fried, he said. He said, it's like eggs, he said. It's so hot some days you could put an egg on the bonnet of your car and actually fry it. I said, well, that's probably true, Larry, yeah. And he said, that's what's happening, the brains are getting muddled. Very interesting. I have some other things written down, but I can't see the fucking things without my glasses. Porn, global warming, internet, Arsenal, the angel, yeah. Yeah, we were off the air for quite a while there, a few weeks, with the serious case of the up-downs. What is that, you might ask? Well, sometimes you're up, but sometimes you're down. When you're up, everything is alright, but when you're down, it's not the time when you actually get the video camera and you try making a video, because it turns into a complete fucking disaster because you don't know what to say. I can well imagine what it's like on stage for people, and they just get a big dose of it's like diarrhea, get a dose of the up-downs in the middle of their act. Next thing, there's people throwing missiles at them. Yeah. But, well, so yeah, I had the up-downs, and I was like, I was going to bed one night. I said, God, what will I do? Help me. Tell me what to do, you know. I was desperate. And took me quite a while to go to sleep, but when I did go to sleep, I woke up with this kind of tingling sensation around me. And I looked over into the corner of the room. I don't know if the camera can see it, but just there in the corner, there was like a white figure with wings on it, little wings, like an angel. I said, are you the answer to my prayers? He said, 1 second. He said, I'll check. So he went like that. And I thought he pulled something from out of his pocket, but he was completely fucking naked. And he pulled out this piece of paper. He said, Sidney Pisselwood. I said, yes. He said, you've been calling, seeking some help from the Lord, I believe. I said, yes, that was me. I'm having a serious case of the up-downs. He said, hold on 1 second. I said, well, what should I do? So he kind of raised his eyebrows, which is quite strange really, when you're looking at a naked angel raising his eyebrows and the rest of the stuff is going up and down as well, you know. He said, it says here, you can go and fuck yourself. I said, excuse me? He said, yeah, go and fuck yourself, that's what it says. He said, you must have been a naughty boy, Sidney. I said, well I haven't been an angel or whatever. He says, no, it says here, he says, you were given, God gave when he was giving out the goodies, he gave you loads of goodies. He says, cooking skills. I said, yeah. Had a restaurant for a while. And what happened? Well, you know yourself. And he said, business skills. He said, you were running nightclubs here when you were 19 years old. I says, that's true, yeah. And what happened? I says, you know yourself. And he says, there's other stuff, I don't even want to bother going into it. I said, well, why did you ever bother even coming? He said, well, it was just, you asked and here we are. I said, well, what will I do? He says, there's a note at the bottom. He says, you've taken so many wrong turns that you're on a permanent fucking roundabout. He says, doesn't like there's any likelihood of you getting off anytime soon. And I said, well, fuck me, Pink. I said, that's not very good, that's not very informative. But I don't actually know whether I should be going into this area of like a self-analytical kind of observation on life as we know it. But he said, I don't know what you can do, Sidney. And I said, well, tell me this. I said, what's your name? And I was trying to think of his name now. It was the same angel that got banished by the Lords down to Satan. Didn't even bother sending me a good angel. He sent me the angel, I don't know, was it Gabriel or what was his name anyway? I said, listen, angel fucking Gabriel. He said, what's the language? He said, that's another thing that I've done here. You swear too much. I said, alright. I said, now angel, Mr. Angel, I said, if I hadn't taken all these wrong turns in life, I said, would I still or would I not have the same sense of humour? I mean, would I be able to have a laugh at stuff as I do? And, you know, when you go, he said, well, I don't think so. I says, well, there's only one answer to that, isn't there? And he said, what's that? I said, go and fuck yourself. And poof! He was gone. That's right. And I was going to put Ivan on, but I'm not too sure does he want to come up now after this, because I'm quite running out, I'm getting tired myself. Anyway, we'll let Ivan have a lash. I don't know whether to do it with the glasses or without the glasses. It doesn't make any difference really, Ivan, just do whatever the fuck you want. Does it look more interesting with the glasses? Do I look like a kind of an intellectual type of character? I don't know, I don't really fucking know. Good evening. We'll try this one anyway. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ivan. And well, I have never been up on the I've done a few videos in the car. And it's lot easier in the car, because when you're driving the car you can look around at the birdies and stuff and whatever, and you're not really thinking about being in front of a camera, but you are in front of the camera in the car, except that you don't recognise, you're not thinking about being in front of the camera. And it's quite different when you're standing up in front of the camera, which is on a tripod, like it's three-legged mechanical device for pointing the camera at the individual who will be broadcasting the information that is being sent out there in YouTube land. Now I was quite shocked today to hear that there are so many people out there that don't know their ass from their elbow. And I have to confess, for a long time I was like that myself. Now we were watching the news the other evening, I think, and there was an article about this man, and he had just come back from Japan, and he said to me, I said, what is it like over there? He says, it's full of Japanese people. I said, really? He said, yes, everywhere you go, fucking Japanese. I said, well, it is Japan after all. And he says, well, even if you go to different countries like America, you will see black people, white people, Chinese people, purple people, green people. I said, what do you mean green people? He says, yes, he says, if you go to those raves, those nightclubs, all-night dance clubs where they supply you with alcohol and drugs, ecstasy and acid and all that, he says, it's full of green people. Well, I was quite shocked myself. I said, well, this could be one of those people that they were talking about earlier on, and Sydney was talking about. They don't know their ass from their elbow. And I said, did you take any of those drugs? He said, sure, I had two. I said, why is that? He said, everyone was taking them. He said, what will I be doing there, standing out on my own, not taking them? I said, well, you could have just done a bit of dancing and stuff. No. He says, I like to follow the crowd. And sometimes we can go off on different angles, as we do in the show, and this one is definitely going off, boldly going where no man has gone before. Somebody was telling me something about the spaceship. I was talking to a man the other day, and he said he was fed up with everything. I said, are you really? And I said, what are you going to do? He says, between you and me, I'm going to the moon. I said to myself, this must be another one of them. I don't know their ass and their elbow. I said, how are you going to get there? He said, I bought a spaceship. A spaceship, I said to him. I had to take a drink of my drink and pull up my pipe, because I was afraid I was going to start rolling, laughing at him. Like that. Where did you get the spaceship? I said to him, like that, in a whisper. And he informed me that he got it on the done deal. I said, are you serious? I said, well, how would you get a spaceship on the done deal? He says, well, apparently the Russians, they're very low on cash, and they have good spaceships, but they have a few old ones that they wanted to get rid of. They were going to sell them for scrap, but thought maybe we'll try and sell them on the internet, because you can buy anything on the internet now. And I thought to myself, well, you can, but a fucking spaceship, I never thought you could buy a fucking spaceship. And I said, well, is it a big one? He said, no, it's just a two-man. And I said, well, where is it? He said, it's out in my shed, out the back of my house. And I said, well, obviously it's an old one, it's not going to work, is it? He says, yes. I said, well, how will you get it to work? What do you know about spaceships? He says, well, it comes with two spaceship engineers from Russia. They're thrown in for the deal, you know. You can have them for 6 months on an internship. They come over to Ireland on an internship, and they sign on, and they do the free labour, and they get the spaceship all ready for takeoff. And I said to myself, well, fuck me, Pete, I thought you were pulling my leg. No, he says, no, I tell you the truth. I was quite fascinated. So we had another few pints. And at the end of the evening, he was telling me about, it would be lovely up there on your own, just staring out at the stars every night, your own moon. And
you know, looking down at the planet Earth and seeing all the stuff that's going on and saying to yourself, well, I've had enough of that maybe. And at the end of the night, you know what I said? I said, Bartholomew. And he looked at me. He said, yes, Ivan. I said, it's a two-man spaceship, he said. I said, who are you bringing with you? I'll do that again in case, because it mightn't come out that I can edit it and have it sounded proper. So I will do it again. So I'm sitting at the bar and I have my pint in my hand, like that. And my pipe, well, I don't know where I put my pipe in my pocket, because I actually have my pipe in my other hand, but I can't have the pipe in my other hand on account of holding the microphone, you know. So I was holding my pint and I took a sip. I said Bartholomew, because that was his name. It was a funny name. Bartholomew. That was his name. I said, who are you bringing on the spaceship? He said, I'm going on my own at the moment. He said, nobody, I haven't spoken to anybody else really about going because I don't really speak to people anymore. I said, would you mind if I came with you? He said, well, no problem. He said, what's your second name? I said, Locke, Ivan Locke. I just made a movie there about I'm driving a car. He said, I didn't see it. I said, well, I'll tell you about it later. So that's it, folks, for this evening's show. I don't know will I be back to do any more videos in the next while, because we are actually taking off Friday week. We're taking off from. He's going to bring the spaceship up the side of Nathan just to get a right shot at the moon, you know. And we'll be taking off at around midnight. He said, he says if all goes well, we might stay there for about 6 months. We're going to bring some supplies with us and some fishing rods. And I said, are you sure there's fish on the moon? He says, would you? There's no harm in bringing them anyway, he says. You never know. He said, there might even be Martians. I said, I'm fucking sure there will be. Thank you, folks. Good night. I hope the bloody camera's working now. It's not one of the things that goes off, you know. Sometimes the camera goes off. Doesn't work properly. Now I have to find the fucking glasses. You see, this is the problem now. When you're doing these webcam things, sometimes you find stuff and sometimes you don't.